Thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. What began as a funny little game where you click a cookie turned into a carnival of insanity, where I'm breaking all known laws of reality to create infinite time loops inside of parallel multiverses in order to facilitate the production of more dang cookies. And oh yeah, did I mention this game is hard? Like 600 achievements hard, like 350 hours of gameplay hard, like broke my spirit and soul all in the pursuit of making these stupid sugary lumps hard. But it didn't start that way. It started much simpler than that. All right, what am I supposed to do in this game again? Oh, right. Click. I got a cookie. Bake one cookie. This is easy. Look at all these cookies I'm making. After I've clicked the glorious biscuit 100 times, I can afford my first grandma. Nice grandma to bake more cookies. Purchased. Oh, we got an achievement. Have one grandma. Nan, age 85. All right, Nan. It's me and you. You can also purchase the cheaper cursors, but they only produce at 1/10 of the speed of our gorgeous grandmother, so I furiously clicked that cookie to continue adding to my menagerie of elders. While the grandmothers complain about our lack of visits, I couldn't care less, as our cookies have become the talk of the town. I do add a single cursor to my cookie production line, which unlocks my first upgrade. For just 100 cookies, my clicking power doubles, giving me 2 cookies per click. Then I can buy some carpal tunnel prevention cream to raise that to 4 whole cookies. Our cookie empire effortlessly expands until Nan and her 9 nursing home besties have made enough cookies for us to purchase the first ever cookie farm. Acres upon acres of beautiful farmland where we can plant cookie seeds into the ground and grow cookies at 8 times the rate of grandmothers. Nan weeps as her putrid ovens have become obsolete, making a steady 30 cookies per second until I receive a gift from the god of pastries himself, the golden cookie. Oh, what's that? Oh, what the heck? Oh my god! Clicking power 777 for 13 seconds. Oh my god! I have so many cookies. What the heck? This is absurd. What the heck? Yes, the golden cookies clicker frenzy boosted my clicks per cookie from 4 all the way to 3,000, giving me 300,000 by the time it's over. With my insane bank of cookies, I skip right past the next tier of building and buy myself 2 cookie producing factories. And even our recently purchased farms can't keep up with the raw power of the cookie factory. It boosts my production from 30 cookies per second to over 500. Cookies are speeding down the assembly line. I can use my delectable new treats to buy tons of upgrades, more cursors, more cookie farms, and my first cookie mine to drill straight into the Earth's core to unearth more cookies. And most powerful of all, a whole bingo game's worth of grandmothers. I'm making nearly 1,000 cookies a second now, and the world is taking notice. Streets are named after me, boys are gathered in my yard, and some feeble-minded man dies in a cookie eating contest. The cookie will only allow the strong to survive, which is why we must have our almighty grandmother start managing our farms, boosting our farms by 1% for every granny. This boost allows us to get 3 achievements at once, as we have now baked 1 million cookies and even received 2 speed baking achievements for doing it in under 25 minutes. It was at this point that I foolishly believed that I was so good at this that I might be able to finish this in just a couple days. Thought stupider than going on Shark Tank and signing with Barbara. An upgrade appears in our store, 1,000 fingers, giving the mouse and cursor 0.1 cookies for every non-cursor building owned. I purchase it, but it gives me a meager 80 extra cookies per second. But remember this moment. Remember all 1,000 fingers. And you also need to remember to subscribe to the channel. Did you know whenever I say subscribe in a video, the button on the bottom of the screen screams in agony? It screams for the sweet release of the subscribe. And every moment you don't, you are torturing it just that bit more. You're sick, you know that? I enclose a full ring of cursors around the cookie, giving me the achievement for owning 100 buildings. While my beautiful cursor ring sparkles like gold, I decide to add 1 single extra cursor solely to annoy the YouTube comments. My cookie production is so quick now that after just a couple minutes, I've saved up 600,000 cookies to purchase an upgrade that doubles the efficiency of my cookie mines. Our cookies have infiltrated the healthcare system now, as doctors recommend that people eat 2 cookies daily. Minor grandmas, isn't that what Colleen Ballinger calls 15-year-olds? Our grandmothers yearn for the mine, so we start funneling the sweet old ladies down. But then we get another golden cookie click frenzy, giving me 9 million cookies. We can use our cookie surplus to bribe the tellers of banks around the world to throw out that stupid cash they had been storing in their vaults, opening it up for us to place our cookies in there. We've got Wells Cookie Dough, Goldman Sugars, Capital Oats, and Morgan Stanley. All the interest from our cookie banks allows us to bribe Congress into repealing the most pointless law they ever passed, child labor. But far more horrifying than the amount of kids who will be degloved on the cookie baking assembly line is this small message we received from Grandma. It begins? What does that mean? Grandma, what does that mean? What? You're scaring me, Grandma. But now it's time to introduce perhaps the most broken mechanic in all of Cookie Clicker, kittens. Now, besides just giving me a good clickbait YouTube title, the achievements in this game actually do something. You see this little pool of milk beneath our cookie? Every achievement we get fills this with a bit more. And the more milk we have, the happier our kittens will be. And you know what they say, happy cat, increase your cookie production rate by several decimals. To fill our milk cup up even more, I buy some upgrades, giving me the Enhancer achievement. This is actually my 25th achievement, which upgrades my regular old milk to fancy chocolate milk. With our chocolate chocolate milk secured, it was time for me to take a lunch break. Like, that's not a joke or anything. Seriously, I just left the game open while I went and had lunch. So I left this going for like an hour or so, and it looks like I have 350 million cookies. So, that feels very good. With our new lunch capital secured, we need to surpass controlling people's wallets and move on to controlling their minds. Yes, it was time to form a religion around our cookies, to convert the world into meager worshippers of our sugary wafers. I use a whopping 200 million cookies to adorn the halls with golden idols, doubling the effectiveness of our chocolate shrines. Things are pretty slow moving until we get a frenzy golden cookie, which multiplies our cookie production by 7 for 1 minute. And you might think that as time goes on, each consecutive building outpaces the last, which is mostly true, but there's one building all the way from the beginning that's still pushing 15% to our total cookies per second: grandmas. The grandma is an adaptable creature, being able to perform as a farmer, miner, or even a bank, which increases the boost to other buildings the more grandmas we employ. And through the power of grandmas, we have now baked 1 billion cookies, which not only gives us an achievement, but also access to sugar lumps. Sugar lumps are going to be one of the most important parts of this run, as they allow us to cast demonic cookie spells, create ancient tablets to the cookie gods, and trade on the cookie stock market. But you'll have to wait for all of that, as we need to wait 24 real-life hours before we can utilize the power of the lump. I'm baking 400,000 cookies a second, but it's still not enough, as towns across the world hit cookie shortages, forcing them to eat disgusting cupcakes. So with the planet barren of more cookie resources, it was time to use spells to summon our cookies into existence, hiring a legion of wizards to work for the great cookie empire. But even magic is not enough to create all the cookies we require, so we need to make the kittens happier. I go looking for some easy achievements to get out of the way. Read 50 pages of the news, click this random slot, click this tiny cookie, dunk the cookie in the milk. The kittens are pleased now and boost our cookie production by 16%. But none of it seems to be enough, as time between stages becomes way larger. While we used to make rapid progress every second, now it took much longer to purchase anything of value. So I just sit there, waiting. Just me, the cookie, and the grandmas. The vast nothingness of the world I've created begins eating away at my mind. Everything is cookie now. My purpose is just cookie. I'm clicking this cookie, I'm clicking this cookie, I'm clicking it, I'm clicking a cookie, I'm clicking a cookie, I'm clicking it, I'm clicking a... The key to continuing to advance in Cookie Clicker is waiting for the forbidden golden cookie, as a frenzy or a click frenzy can quickly skyrocket your profits. Luckily, after clicking 7, I unlock an upgrade that will double the frequency of my golden cookies. This is more than worth the 700 million it costs, as now golden cookies appear every 5 minutes instead of 10. The golden frenzies start flying in, but the real one we're looking for is the click frenzy, which unfortunately I can't seem to get. After a full day spent inside the Cookie Clicker, I managed to get my cookies per second up to 2 million. I decide to head to bed, but keep my computer on overnight. Before I head to sleep, I know that there's not enough cookies on this planet to satisfy me. So I buy 2 shipments, which will allow us to take over our neighboring planets and turn them into machines for our cookie empire. With the knowledge that I was colonizing the universe, I head to sleep. And I knew I was going to wake up to a lot of cookies, but dear Lord, it was more than I could have ever imagined. Before I reveal how many cookies I made that night, I'd like to talk about the sponsor of today's video, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and it's available right now for free on PC and consoles. In War Thunder, you can engage in intense vehicle combat with over 2,500 different historically accurate tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 major nations, ranging from biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today. The incredibly detailed vehicles, combined with the realistic graphics and authentic sound effects, make you truly feel like you're in command of one of the most powerful war machines of our time. Each vehicle is carefully designed with detailed components such as engines, fuel tanks, weapons, and crew, all of which can be damaged or incapacitated by enemy fire. Join the worldwide community of over 70 million players today and delve into the incredible experience that is War Thunder. There's an unparalleled amount of content to discover, and no better game suited for fans of military history. And for new players or those who haven't played in 6 months, you'll receive an absolutely free bonus pack. Bonus pack will give you the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver lions, and 7 days of premium account. Use my link in the description or comments down below and sign up for War Thunder today. And thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. And now it's time to see what one night of sleep netted me. So before I went to bed last night, I spent some of my cookies, so I bought a shipment and a couple more wizard towers, and I left my computer on all night, and I came back to 130 billion cookies. I baked 100 billion cookies while I was asleep. I buy a bunch of upgrades for my shipments, my wizard towers, and most importantly for my kittens. I'm now baking 8 million cookies a second. The world has turned catastrophic. My chocolate mines flood villages. Nations across the world are encumbered by obesity. Scientists hypothesize about a cookie-related apocalypse. On the bright side, though, elder gods from neighboring cosmos have awoken and are dying to try our cookies. The elder gods will have to wait, as right now our first sugar lump is ready. After harvesting it, we can use this delicious lump to upgrade our wizard towers. This unlocks Cookie Clicker's first minigame, the Grimoire. Yeah, did you really think this was just some idle game where you just click a cookie a bunch? You're not even close. Because once we unlock all the minigames, we'll have to be tracking thousands of numbers across hundreds of complex spreadsheets, all just to make some freaking cookies. But for now, we've just got the Grimoire. So what does it do? Well, it has all these fun and creative spells that you can use, and they're all absolutely terrible, as there's only one we're going to be using this entire playthrough: Force the Hand of Fate. Using this spell, we can summon a golden cookie whenever we want. Now, while that's cool on its own, the real power comes from stacking them. Imagine if you can have the effects of 2 intensely powerful golden cookies at once, multiplying a multiplier. I wait until a golden cookie naturally spawns, and oh yeah, I should probably explain why the golden cookies look like little bunnies right now. Well, this video actually took so long to record that I need to start the process 6 months ago. So I'm currently recording this in late March. And what's in late March? National Tolkien Reading Day. So because of the Tolkien Reading Day, Cookie Clicker goes into holiday mode, and all of the golden cookies look like bunnies, among a ton of other holiday related features we'll discover later. Okay, now let's try and stack our first ever golden cookie combo. Okay, so this frenzy, boom, boom, another frenzy. So it's frenzy on frenzy, right? This is a double frenzy. Am I crazy? Is that not how it works? That is not how that works. Getting a second frenzy when one is already in place will just reset the timer on your existing frenzy. So in order to get this combo to work, I need to get 1 click frenzy and 1 normal frenzy. Unfortunately, we can't cast Force the Hand of Fate again until we have 28 mana, which advances at 0.01 per second, meaning we'll have to wait around 30 minutes before casting it again. But there's tons more to do in the meantime, as I happily click away on the golden cookie bunnies until I discover that one of them was hiding an egg. This egg is extremely cheap, but gives a 1% boost to our cookies per second, which may not seem like a lot, but 1% of 30 million cookies is enough to end an entire nation. But this isn't the only egg, as we've got to track down all 20 before the season's end. Also, I'm sure you've noticed this blue bar slowly rising in the corner, and it's finally filled up, as we've now cooked 1 trillion cookies. This gives me my very first prestige level. What does that mean? Well, it means we get to be reincarnated from the cookie space god after purchasing some Ascension upgrades. And if that doesn't make any sense, don't worry about it right now. For now, we just gotta get our prestige level to 365, meaning there are still trillions and trillions more cookies to bake. Our empire further expands, as now just 1 hour of waking up, we can produce what it used to take all of last night to produce in just a couple of minutes. Even across neighboring planets, the amount of cookie production materials dwindles. So it's time to take drastic measures. You see, with cookies having now become the world's currency, gold clogs our planet. So by buying an alchemy lab, we can begin converting those useless shiny bricks into delicious, delicious cookies. But while this is nice, we're still making a meager 80 million cookies until finally the stars align and magic is on our side. I click on a golden cookie and get a frenzy. Then I cast Force the Hand of Fate, and it gives me a clicking frenzy. I mouse over the cookie and tap it as fast as my little arthritis-ridden fingers will allow me. Our cookies per second is multiplied by 7, and clicking the cookie gives us a percentage of our CPS, plus the 700 multiplier from clicking frenzy. We're going from making millions of cookies to billions of cookies to, no, could it be 1.5 trillion cookies? In just 13 seconds, we had made 5 hours of cookies. All that clicking unlocks the trillion fingers upgrade, multiplying the gain we got from 1,000 fingers by 20. That means the next time we're able to stack click frenzy and frenzy. Oh, click frenzy and frenzy! Oh my god! Oh my god, this is huge. Oh, this is so huge. Oh my god. Oh, my hand. We just made 4 trillion cookies. Oh my god, that's absurd. Now all we care about is forcing the Hand of Fate and casting spells, as this dwarves any sort of normal production we could be doing. I cast spell after spell after spell, hoping for the combo to hit, and it so rarely does. All the upgrades we buy are to improve this combo, so that when it finally hits, we can create mounds upon mounds of cookies. I've been practicing my clicking skills, so now in just 1 click frenzy, I can make 60 trillion cookies. We have conquered all of the cookies in the known universe, so I need to start buying portals to alternate universes where cookies haven't yet taken over the world. But even this is not enough to quench my cookie hunger, so I'm forced to build time machines so that we can go back in time before the cookies were made to bring them to the future. This has created a time loop upon the universe that will eventually collapse in itself, all in the service of cookies. While our clicker frenzy combo has been strong enough to get us here, it's only giving us a few hours of production. We'll need to further strengthen its power. So the next morning, I'm able to harvest my second sugar lump. I can use this one to upgrade my temples, which gives rise to the Pantheon. The Pantheon gives us access to ancient tablets that allow us to begin worshiping the ancient cookie gods. Vormatrax, Spirit of Decadence, Scuria, Spirit of Scorn, Mokaluja. Okay, that one's just a cow. Each ancient cookie god has a specific benefit they offer us, but the ones we want are Myrtle and Godsmark. Myrtle gives us the downside of having -2% to all of our buildings production, but 10% boost to clicking. And Godsmark, well, I'll explain him later. Power of the Elder Chocolate Gods on our side. It was time to search for the perfect cookie combo. And after many failed attempts, it finally happened. I click a golden cookie and get a new golden cookie type, a Building Frenzy, which scales 10 times the amount of one of our buildings. Since we have 100 120 farms. This boosts our production by 1,200%, even more than a normal cookie frenzy. Then we have the wizard summon a golden cookie with Force the Hand of Fate, and by God, it's a clicker frenzy! That is no longer enough to satisfy us, as now it was time to harness the power of Godsmock. The ancient cookie dinosaur allows us to buff our clicking power by 1% for every building we sell for the next 10 seconds. I sell all the buildings that barely affect our CPS, like farms, mines, factories, and banks, giving me a 400 boost to my click. And now, it was time to unleash our true cookie clicking power. I click as hard and as fast as I can, more cookies showering down than I've ever seen before. Tears stream down my face, and by the time I'm done, holy crap, we just made a quadrillion cookies. That was actually insane. We made a quadrillion cookies. After baking 60 hours of cookies in just 10 seconds, we've earned our 75th achievement, meaning we've upgraded to orange milk below our cookie, which just sounds absolutely disgusting, by the way. I buy more portals, letting us destroy every reality in the known multiverse. The grandmas weep as they fear the end of our reality is imminent, but I am still not satisfied. More cookies need to be baked. I call upon Godsmuck and the wizards time and time again, quadrillions of cookies flying past. All matter in the known universe has turned to cookie, so I'm forced to look towards antimatter condensers to begin converting them to matter, which we can then turn into cookies. But even that is not enough, so I buy my first prism, turning light itself into more cookies. Every particle of every reality being formed into cookies. To go further than this, we're gonna have to look towards other ways of creating cookies. So it's then that I decide to purchase the Bingo Center Research Facility. Grandma-operated science lab regularly unlocks new upgrades. Confused and intrigued, I pull the trigger on the quadrillion cookies and let the grandmas get to researching. While they whittle away, I happen to get one of their rarest achievements in all of Cookie Clicker. Just plain lucky. You have a 1 in 1 million chance of earning this achievement every second. For most, this can take years upon years for people to just so happen to get. For me, I earned it in just a few days. The game knows that I'm the rightful heir to the Cookieverse, and I need be respected. Now, on top of the world, there was only one thing that could stop me. My girlfriend's birthday. Alright guys, I wasn't able to record the past couple days because I was on vacation. Here's a little clip. I fed ostriches, it was kind of awesome. But now we're back, so let's get clicking. I did manage to get 4 sugar lumps, which is kind of cool. So we have a lot of things that we can actually upgrade right now. So let's see what the things we should upgrade are. Yes, luckily you can be away from the game and sugar lumps will still be collected. So I've got tons to use right now. For my first one, I upgrade my farms, which unlocks our third mini game, the garden. Inside the garden, we have access to seeds that we can plant down and grow. Now, the garden might just be the most complicated part of this entire game, as there are 34 different plants we have to crossbreed. But we're gonna worry about that later. And I truly mean worry, as this is going to cause me oodles and oodles of pain. But now it's time to unlock the game's final minigame. Let's go to banks. Yes. There's a stock market. This is, what? It's a game about cookies! It's a game about cookies! What is the stock market? This is a cookie game. I'm gonna lose it. What is this? Cereals from Old Mill. This is a real stock market. Now, this just might be even more horrifying than the garden, as I am not a gambling man. I don't see any cookie mutual funds here, so let's just put a pin in this. I used my last sugar lumps to upgrade my garden to level 2, expanding it to 6 plots. Pretty much all of sugar lumps will be going here for the foreseeable future. Meanwhile, in the background, the grandmas have finished their research, giving us designer cocoa beans. How sweet of them. Thank you, grandmas. Even though you guys look like the main hall at Anime Expo, you still have some heart left in you. One more click frenzy later, and we've gotten the achievement both for earning 100 quadrillion cookies and to bake 100 quadrillion cookies from clicking. This new fabulous capital means we can expand the cookie empire once again. Now that every single particle in every reality was baking cookies for us, we only had one avenue to hope to generate more cookies, them randomly materializing out of thin air. And while this seems like an unlikely occurrence, that's why it was time to start making chance makers to improve the odds of that happening. The chance makers start working immediately as we get the achievement for baking 1 trillion cookies a second. But when I log on the next morning, something strange happens.
What the heck? Why does everything look different now?
Yes, our lovable blue background has been replaced with one of a dollar bill, and all of our building names have been changed to ones themed around finance. This is because I had been playing the game for so long that Easter had ended and a new season had begun. This one is called Business Day. From what I understand, it's supposed to be like an April Fool's Day themed holiday. I actually hate this holiday because it has no gameplay changes and the icons are really stupid, but don't worry, it'll only last a couple days. But even stranger than this is the grandma's next research upgrade, Underworld Ovens. Why are they using ovens from the underworld? Why does the icon look so uncharacteristically demonic? It doesn't stop there though, as things get even weirder with their next research. Grandmothers are growing restless, do not encourage them. Predicting this problem will have unexpected and potentially undesirable results. It's all downhill from here. Okay, I want to do it. Nothing seemed to happen as of right now. And yeah, this is because of stupid Business Day. The holiday theme actually overwrites everything else. We're supposed to be seeing a ton of visual changes here, so I'm just gonna act like we're seeing them and show them on screen. But sorry about that. Combining the minds of the grandmas, their appearance begins to alter. The grandma's eyes glowing red, their skin having fall out, and am I crazy or can you see the muscles beneath their skin?
What the heck is that? What is that? I can click them?
After clicking the little worm a few more times, I can pop him and earn myself 8 trillion cookies. This is called a Wrinkler. Wrinklers are demons that the grandmas have summoned onto us from the underworld to steal our cookies. Yes, I'm being completely serious. This game's lore is insane. Wrinklers will lower your CPS while they steal cookies, but we can counteract the grandma's dastardly plan by popping them. Upon being popped, the Wrinkler will drop even more cookies than they stole, which actually increases our CPS. Take that, evil hags! But I don't even have a second to think about that monstrosity, as I see something even stranger next. A red cookie. Upon clicking on it, it halves our CPS for a full 2 minutes. What? Yes, this is called a wrath cookie, and it's the opposite of a golden cookie and only exists to inflict pain. The grandmas have begun to infect the entire game, but I don't let that stop me as I find another golden cookie and pull off my biggest click frenzy combo yet, making me 1 quintillion cookies. Try as you might, grandmas, but I will not succumb to your putrid control. This even gives me my 100th achievement and turns my milk caramel. But the grandmas have another trick up their sleeve, as they have researched a communal brain sweep. We fuse, we merge, we grow. And grow they did, as the grandmas completely absolve themselves of mortal flesh, with their skin turning a disgusting bright red. I continue marching on and purchasing myself a fractal engine, and look, I know I had cute little story reasons on why we're making cookies with each of these machines, but I tried to look into what a fractal engine is for like 15 minutes, and I was more confused than when I started. It's like some science nerd thing that uses wormholes to create infinite energy or something. I don't know. I went to liberal arts school. All is going well in our brawl against the grandmas. I even get an achievement for popping 50 whole Wrinklers. But those wrinkly flesh bags aren't out yet. The Elder Pack. Squirm, crawl, slither, arrive. Today we rise. Note, this is a bad idea. But my curiosity gets the better of me, and I purchase it.
Trigger the Grandma Apocalypse. What the heck is the Grandma Apocalypse? Oh my god, what is going on behind the cookie?
Yes, by purchasing the Elder Pack, the grandmas reveal their true forms, these disgusting masses of flesh and organs. Grandmas have taken over the very fiber of our reality as their desire for power grows. And while this is a bad thing, you know, for the general world, I kind of threw my care for that out, somewhere between allowing child labor and creating an infinite time loop. The Grandma Apocalypse is actually really good for production while you idle, as the Wrinklers can give you massive gains on your cookies per second. This is great and all, but soon I realized the true problem with the Grandma Apocalypse. No golden cookies. Yes, at this point, all golden cookies have been replaced by wrath cookies, meaning that we're unable to perform our mystical force the hand of fate combo. But isn't it too late? Haven't I already neutered the world? Luckily for me, there is one way to stop the Grand Matriarchs through the Elder Covenant. A prayer to the Grand Matriarchs to stop the Grandma Apocalypse once and for all. But this comes at a cost. In order to continually appease the grandmas, they take a permanent 5% from our CPS. A heavy cross to bear, but it's more than worth it to save our reality. With the grandmas appeased, we can perform click frenzy after click frenzy, showering the world in quintillions upon quintillions of cookies. Our prestige level continues to rise, but it's not enough to satisfy my greed. It's time to expand the reach of our cookie gains and purchase our first ever JavaScript consoles, baking cookies out of the very code that Cookie Clicker itself was made from. Frenzy after frenzy passed by until baking cookies becomes mind-numbingly hard. Even doing click frenzies is no longer enough to make more than just a few hundred quintillion cookies. No, in this reality, I was far too weak. In order to grow stronger, it was time to finally cash in those prestige ranks and ascend. Before ascending, I make sure to strengthen my milk by getting as many achievements as I can, the easiest of which being from the milestones you hit for every 50 of a building you purchase. I managed to earn my 125th achievement and unlock banana milk. With 861 prestige levels, it was finally time to ascend. You really want to ascend? All your cookies will be converted into prestige and heavenly chips. After mulling it over, I decided that yes, it was time to ascend to the next realm.
Time to ascend.
So long, cookies. Whoa.
I forfeited my 639 quintillion cookies, and I'm gonna get 861 prestige levels.
Now, what is it that Ascension does? Well, for each prestige rank we earned, we're given a single heavenly chip. Here in the Ascension path, we can use these heavenly chips to purchase upgrades for the fresh world we'll be entering. The first one converts our prestige level into a plus 1% CPS bonus per level, meaning in our next life we'll have a permanent 861% boost to all cookies we make. That's not all we can spend our heavenly chips on, as I buy a permanent 10% buff to our cookies per second, make golden cookies 5% more likely to spawn, a bunch of cookie tins, and even some powers that allow me to earn cookies while the game is closed. I'll explain the rest later, as for now, it was time to reincarnate to the mortal world once again. Upon returning, while we've kept our sugar lumps and achievements, everything else is gone. All of the child labor factories, the evil grandmas, time loop bending machines, the world is quiet once again. Maybe this time we won't fall down the path of the corruption. Maybe this time the cookie could be the world's savior as opposed to its undoing. But then the heavenly key is offered to me, an upgrade that unlocks the 800% boost my prestige level is supposed to give me. From there, the cookies start flowing in at speeds I never thought possible before. Buildings that took me days of saving and countless clicker combos can now be purchased in mere seconds. I've been on this run for less than 10 minutes. I can already buy my first wizard tower. But that boost isn't the only thing helping me, as now I've ascended and I'm no longer alone. Now I've been given a friend to roam through the cookieverse with, the Dragon Egg. egg. By paying the dragon egg 12 million cookies, we can crack the egg open, which gives rise to our lone companion in this world, Crumbler, the cookie dragon. And god dang, isn't he just adorable. By giving this cute little fella another 16 million cookies, he unlocks his first dragon aura. Dragon auras are little abilities that can be attached to Crumbler for different effects to our cookie production. And luckily, the first one is perhaps the strongest, giving us a 5% boost to all our kittens, which may not seem like much, but the power of the kitten is so overbearing that even just 5% can go miles. With Crumbler's power, we can advance all the way to our first antimatter condenser in just a couple of minutes without a single Click Frenzy combo. Seconds later, we get our first Click Frenzy combo and can buy a Chance Maker. A tower that took me a week to get in my original run, now unlocked in under 30 minutes. This is the true power of Ascension. An hour into the run, and I perform my largest Click Frenzy combo ever, baking 10 sextillion cookies in 13 seconds. I'm trying to show these numbers to you guys because we are beginning to hit numbers that are physically unable to be comprehended by the human mind. And after that, I'm able to do it again for 100 sextillion cookies. Even though we just started this run 4 hours ago, we had gained nearly 5,000 prestige, meaning it was time to ascend once again. While I'm mostly forfeiting my mortal sugar for the 5,000 boost to my CPS, I can also use my heavenly chips to purchase some buffs to my golden cookies. The power of prestige flows through my veins, and we're able to get back to making trillions of cookies in just a couple seconds. But cooler than the rivers and rivers of cookies we're baking is our new season switcher. Using this, we can pay a modest amount of cookies to switch to any of the other seasonal events. This is great because it means we can unlock some of the upgrades hidden behind the other timed events. But cooler than that, it means we can finally be rid of that absolutely disgusting business day theme. Dear Lord, I hated that so much. Valentine's Day means we can buy some cute heart biscuits to continue feeding the CPS machine. After just a single click frenzy, it was time to unlock our strongest tower yet. But before I explain what the tower is, I need to map out the lore of Cookie Clicker. And yes, this is all real and in the game, I promise you. So while previously we had been ransacking alternate universes using our portal, all of those realities have existed inside of the Cookieverse. However, across the metacosmos are parallel universes that exist outside of the Cookieverse. These realities are structured much like our own, and they're called idolverses. These parallel idolverses also converge to one deity producing a single certain item. In the gemverse, everyone in that reality is creating mass amounts of gems. In the puppyverse, they're producing puppies. In the midverse, they're producing episodes of Demon Slayer. You get the point. Well, we have found a way to hijack these alternate realities and convert whatever they were making into cookies. In these realities, they have different building types, like grandpas or wind turbines. Nevertheless, we can seize their means of productions to instead being centered around cookies. I purchased many idolverses who all succumb to cookie production. And using their power, I can perform a click frenzy that gives me 4 septillion cookies, which is bigger than a sextillion, don't get them confused. But with that, we've got 12,000 prestige ranks, and it was time to ascend once again. On this ascension, I've got a new goal. Upon dropping in, I switched the season to Christmas. This unlocks a new upgrade, the festive hat. Purchasing the festive hat gives me a festive test tube that I can then upgrade using cookies. The test tube turns into an ornament, which turns into a wreath, which eventually turns into a festive elf fetus. From there, we can raise the elf from a toddler all the way until he becomes old Saint Nick himself. Santa starts off young and chipper, but each upgrade I purchase ages him more and more until Elder Santa is barely hanging on. Despite his decaying skin, I upgrade him once again to give rise to True Santa, his mortal flesh now having fused with the ribbons themselves. And then with just one more click of the mouse, we can unlock Santa's true form, Final Claus. Santa is now transformed into an ethereal being that can exist outside the confines of Christmas. He is eternal. And for all that, we're given a bunch of upgrades with a ton of effects. But most importantly, 235% extra cookie production, 2% cheaper buildings, 7% cheaper upgrades, and 10% more powerful clicking power. With Santa's true power unlocked, we can increase our idolverse influence, which gives rise to the second to last tower in the game, Cortex Bakers.
These artificial brains the size of planets are capable of simply dreaming up cookies into existence. Time and space are inconsequential, reality is arbitrary. It's basically a fake mind that dreams about a cookie and it's like, boom, a cookie exists. So it's just like, we're creating fake people to dream. Reality is arbitrary. I don't think I understand this. I don't think I know what's going on anymore. I think we lost the plot a really long time ago, guys.
But the Cortex Bakers are the engine in my next click frenzy. A move so powerful it not only earns me 6 octillion cookies, 7 different achievements, but also 150,000 prestige ranks, which means you know what time it is. This time, we can spend those delicious heavenly chips on a 10% buff to our clicking ability. And upon reincarnating, in mere minutes, our prestige is powerful enough to buy the final building in the game, you. Well, not you watching the video, the building is called you, meaning it's me. So if you are for some reason playing alongside the game, then I guess it would also mean you, but you get the point. At this point, all of time, space, and reality is dedicated to baking cookies. So the only way we can possibly conceive in making more is to start manufacturing clones of the one person who was able to make this all happen, me. I can even customize the clones so they look exactly like me. I grow more and more clones until they line behind the walls of the fetal vat, boosting my CPS all the way to 6 septillion. With all the buildings in the game now unlocked, there was only one thing to do. Ascend, ascend, ascend. You guys know the drill by now. Go in, train up Crumbler, upgrade Santa, buy a bunch of buildings, and then ascend. I don't even have time for my wizard towers to fill the magic bar by the time I want to ascend. If you're wondering what determines when I do ascend, well, there's this handy little guide on the wiki that tells you the best intervals to do it at. But all the ascensions come insanely quick here, with each one coming around half an hour. It's just ascend, 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 growing exponentially each time. Stronger and stronger still. We're accumulating hundreds of millions worth of prestige. A decillion cookies, undecillion, duodecillion, and the heavenly upgrades just keep rolling in. 10% boost to our CPS, a permanent upgrade slot, boost to our golden cookies. The most valuable of all ends up being the synergy upgrades and the cursor ones. The synergy upgrades allow us to buy upgrades that make certain buildings boost other buildings. And the king of the synergistic upgrades is the fractal engine and cursor synergy. From this, cursors become far and away our most powerful building. In fact, not only are they the most powerful, they account for 99.6% of all of our cookies being made. The weakest building, the one I refused to even buy at the beginning of this run, has now come down to be our savior. Because no matter what we buy, how we enhance the process, this game has always been about one thing: clicking goddamn cookies. Cursors springboard our profits even further until we're ascending with like 10 billion heavenly chips, but it's still never enough. We can start a run and make duodecillion cookies in less than a minute, but I'm still not satisfied. We need more cookies. I won't stop until every atom in the observable universe is a cookie. We need to grow Crumbler the dragon stronger. In order to train him up, we need to feed him 100 grandmas, 100 farms, 100 mines. Crumbler feast upon every single one of our buildings until he finally asks for 200 of everything, all at once. But I must, for the cookies, and also because he's just such a little cute guy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. For sacrificing that insane amount of buildings to Crumbler, we're rewarded with his true form and the ability to dual wield 2 dragon auras. Generally, the 2 that I'll be using until much later in the game are the Kitten one from earlier and Radiant Appetite, which doubles all cookie production. Using all these combined powers, we've got nearly 500 of every single building in the game. So it was time for the ultimate click frenzy combo. I got more buildings than ever to fuel Gods Among, skyrocketing me all the way to the never before seen Quattro Decillion cookies. Achievements start rolling in and I'm filled with bliss. Now, after all this time, all this pain, all this effort, all the reality scrapped, the antimatter condensed, the grandma slain, playing this game night and day for 9 days straight. How many achievements do you think we have? How many? Just guess, because it's only 64%. And then I buy a bunch of buildings that get us up to 71. But still, only 71%. And the ones we've gotten are the easy ones. We're not even a quarter of the way through. In fact, some of these single achievements are going to take longer than the entire rest of the playthrough. I need more golden cookie combos. More. I bake 6 decillion cookies off of one, but it's not enough to appease the cookie achievement gods. In fact, they're laughing at me. Keep going until I say stop. Please. I've conquered universes, realities, even myself. When can it end? But I know the answer. The cookies must always be clicked, and I will be there to click them. The cycle will never end. But there is a way to show to the cookie gods that I am truly dedicated to the cookie cause, and that I am deserving of all 637 achievements. I am going to tackle one of the hardest achievements in the game, an achievement the creator of Cookie Clicker knew was too impossible, so he relegated it to being a shadow achievement. But before we do that, I need to escape this reality for a bit, so I decided it's the perfect time to tackle all of the Born Again achievements. You see, when you reincarnate yourself after an ascend, you have the option to reincarnate as Born Again. Becoming Born Again absolves you of all your sins created in your past life and leaves your countless cookie-related crimes as just a memory of the past. You're reincarnated as if it was the first time you've ever opened up the game. While this is completely useless for most purposes, there are a few achievements that require being on a completely fresh save file. And the first one we're going to be tackling is True Never Click. To complete True Never Click, we need to cast aside the fundamental rule of Cookie Clicker and bake 1 million cookies without ever clicking the cookie. The urge to click the cookie right now is so large. Like, I cannot describe to you how badly I just want to click it. Like, I just want to go over there and just click it so bad. It's so tempting. Now, you might be wondering, in a game called Cookie Clicker, how do we earn 1 million cookies without clicking the cookie? Well, we can't click the mega cookie in the middle, but we do have one solace in this world: golden cookies. Cookie! Click frenzy. Oh, it's so tempting. And you can see, despite clicking the golden cookie, our cookie clicks still sit at 0. I'm not sure why the golden cookie doesn't count as a cookie, and my only hypothesis is that the golden cookie is not in fact a cookie at all, and instead an entirely separate magical entity, which is how it derives so much power. Obviously, click frenzy is not the golden cookie we want. In fact, there's only one golden cookie that can help us, which is lucky, as it gives you cookies for free. And lucky is the most common golden cookie effect at 40%. So how hard could this be? Cookie! Oh my god! Are you joking? That's 2 cookies! Can I get a golden cookie? Can I just get a cookie? I'm sitting here playing a game called Cookie Clicker, and I haven't clicked a single cookie. Oh, cookie! Come on! What are the chances of that? What are the chances? Oh my god, 2 frenzies and a click frenzy. Imagine a world where there are no cookies to click. All I wanna do is go over there and click the frickin' cookie. Can I click it over there? No, I shall not click the cookie. No chocolate chips, no little crumbly bits, raisins, and oatmeal. But finally, after completely losing my mind, my request is finally answered. Cookie? Yes! No, it's not enough to buy a freaking cursor! Oh my god! I have to wait for another one? Are you joking? Oh my god. Come on! On average, a golden cookie appears once every 7 minutes. So after 20 more minutes of waiting and 2 more frenzies, I finally managed to get my second lucky cookie. From there, I can buy my first cursor and oh boy, I forgot how awful these guys are before you unlock synergies. He's making a staggering 0.1 cookie every second. After buying 4, I decided to just save for grandma's, and once I get my first frenzy, I can easily buy out a ton of them. From there, we progress as we normally would, buying farms, then mines, then factories, and one powerful frenzy later. Yes! True never click! Yes! I'm a freaking pro! Wow, true never click, that's awesome. With the achievement collected, we can ascend once again. That was just a warm-up, as now we've got a much more difficult challenge waiting for us, Speed Baking 3. For this achievement, you need to perform the pretty difficult task of baking 1 million cookies in just 15 minutes. Now, this is technically a shadow achievement and not required for completion, but I decided to do it anyway, because I love to torture myself for your enjoyment. And torture it was, as not only was this achievement time-consuming, but it was also physically straining. Yes, I think doing this challenge has injured my hand in a way it may never truly recover. Because contrary to the last challenge, this one's all about clicking. I start out my first attempt and just get to clicking as rapidly as I can. I click all the way to 100 cookies, buy a grandma, and then put my eyes back on that illustrious snack, clicking as many times as my little fingers will allow. After about a minute, I've got a good baseline with 3 grandmas and 3 cursors. But while all my buildings are only making 3 cookies a second, my clicking is actually much faster than that. This makes me realize that I should definitely be investing in mouse upgrades instead, so I end the run less than 90 seconds after it started. On attempt 2, I buy a cursor as soon as I can afford it to unlock the mouse path. Then I use my first 100 cookies after that to double my clicking power, giving me 2 cookies per click.
Now I need to get to 500 cookies. Oh my god, my arm is killing me. This is ungodly painful.
At 500 cookies, I can double my mouse effectiveness again, giving me 4 cookies per click. From here, the cookies start rolling in, and just a few minutes in, we can buy our first farm and 10 grandmothers. The next big grind is to get all the way to a mine at 12,000 cookies. But that's not a problem, for I have harnessed clicking speeds never before seen. I keep growing, adding more and more buildings to my collection. I feel like I'm flying. Maybe this isn't as hard as I thought. I can do this. And then, when the 15 minutes were up, I realized I had barely made 1/5 of the cookies I needed to. I ascend and try again and again and again, and while I'm certainly getting better, I am nowhere near where I need to be. Since I'm so far away, I realized that just like everything else in this game, the key is going to be in golden cookies. The ones that'll help us the most are obviously Frenzy and Click Frenzy. So my new strategy is to play as intensely as I can until around the 7-minute mark. Then I grab my golden cookie, and if it's not Frenzy or Click Frenzy, I reset. After more luckies than I'd like to admit, finally the stars align.
Frenzy, okay. Frenzy, interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
And while the frenzy boost was nice, it definitely was way less than I was expecting. In fact, right before the end, I even get a second frenzy, which pushes me all the way to like 700,000 cookies, which is certainly nice, but still a ways off of our goal of 1 million. At this point, I had realized that unless we get a click frenzy, there was no way we're hitting that 1 million. The problem with that is that click frenzy has a 3% chance of triggering from each golden cookie, which means resetting again and again and again and again. After 2 hours straight of failure, I haven't gotten any closer to my goal, but it's then that I'm struck with a lightning bolt of inspiration. In a normal game of Cookie Clicker, a click frenzy is the only thing that can make this run possible. But what if I wasn't playing a normal game of Cookie Clicker? By going into the settings on my computer, I can change the date and time to be during Christmas. And during Christmas, golden cookies aren't the only things that can help us. You see, periodically during the Christmas event, the game will spawn reindeer to come flying across your screen. These reindeer will give you huge amounts of cookies when clicked on. Like, I was only making 500 cookies a second here, and Cupid gifted me 36,000 of them. Getting this early can allow you to springboard your profits exponentially. Still, even with the increased reindeer buff, it still takes me a good hour for setting to get a good run going. Freaking lucky! I finally get a good frenzy run going, but even with the reindeer buffs, I still only hit 700,000 at the time mark. So I do the only thing I can at this point. Start a new run and lock in.
Okay, Frenzy. Let's shoot for cheap hose. Boom. Now we're farm posting for a little bit. Yep, let's get to 15 of farms. Boom. Sugar gas. Now we're mines posting. Okay, we went up to 700 CPS. We've made 250,000. It's been 8 minutes, 54 seconds. I'm feeling good. Feeling fine. What's this do? Cookie production 5% for 22. Is that worth it? 15%. That seems good. Yeah, boom. That was definitely worth it. 100,000 cookies. Okay, we buy a factory? Yes, let's buy a factory. Boom. Let's buy a mine. Okay, hold on. This could be the moment. This could make it all worth it. Holy crap. Please. Please. Minute and a half left. Come on. We're so close. Please. Please. We really need a golden cookie. With one golden cookie, we could do it. We just need a golden cookie. Please. Just give me the cookie. Just give me the cookie, man. What's in the box? Oh my God. It's so close. Anybody's game. Holy crap. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm actually scared. I don't think it's happening. Could one mine push it? No way. It's not happening. 15 seconds. No. Okay, we're pulling for a reindeer. We're actually pulling for... No, go. Go. We don't need to pull for a reindeer. Come on, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Buy a bunch of grandmas. Come on. No, we were 50K. Oh, the golden cookie. Oh, it was a lucky. Dang it, we were so close. God dang it. Oh my God, we hit the million at 15 minutes and 15 seconds, you rat. I have another run get scarily close, but once again fail. But on the very next attempt, I get a frenzy cookie and a reindeer that gives me 100,000 cookies. We're on incredible pace. At just 11 minutes, I'm past where most of my runs died. We can do this. 200,000 cookies, please. This is it. Yes. Oh my God, that took so many attempts. Holy crap. But we got it. Speed baking 3. Yes! Now we've just got one challenge mode achievement left, hardcore. For this one, you need to get to 1 billion cookies baked without buying a single upgrade. I didn't really have a ton to say about this one. I just left the game open and made some cookies. Upgrades are hugely helpful to progress, so just know if you're doing this at home, it takes a really long time to complete. And with that done, we should be able to get back to our regularly scheduled cookie clicker programming, right? Well, not quite. You see, it was time to tackle that dastardly achievement I mentioned earlier. And it truly might be one of the hardest achievements in the game, being in the top 10 least completed, Endless Cycle. For this one, we've got to ascend 1,000 times. And not just ascend, as the Ascension only counts if you have a single prestige level. Up until this point, it seems like we've ascended a lot, right? We're probably somewhere close to there, right? We are currently at 40. To do this, each time we need to start a new Ascension, buy a bunch of upgrades and buildings, and wait until we've earned the 1 prestige and then ascend. Over and over and over and over and over again. 1,000 times I did this. Just clicking buy all upgrades 4 times and then ascending. This genuinely had me losing my mind. This single achievement is the reason I had to start on this video in March. I was literally doing this in the background of like my last 5 videos. Garden Warfare, Inscription, Spore, Animal Oil, Plants vs. Zombies. Every second that it loaded or buffered and I didn't need to be actively playing, I just do a couple ascensions of Cookie Clicker. It literally began turning my brain into mush. Every second of my life that was not filled with something else, Cookie Clicker ascensions would ooze into the cracks. Do you see what this game is doing to me? I'm regressing into a brainless iPad child. But finally, after a mind-numbing amount of time, oh my God, that took so long. And it didn't even give me any milk, is the worst part of it all. Finally, I was now finally free from the Ascension grind and could go back to playing Cookie Clicker the way it was intended to be. Whatever that means. I go in and my prestige level is so high now that immediately upon starting, I can buy like 500 of every building and I'm making 40 quadrillion per second. But the strongest upgrade from all my heavenly chips actually had nothing to do with my prestige level, as now I could pet my dragon. The mighty Crumbler receives many pets and he is most definitely a good boy. Despite everything going well, it's then that I realized I had made a fatal mistake. When I was trying to get the speed baking achievement, as we all know, I changed my computer's date and time to Christmas. Since I was doing this in a born again run, I thought it would just be a cute little feature for that part of the video and then go away. What I didn't realize is that Cookie Clicker actually thought it was December 24th during that period, meaning it had thought 200 days had passed, meaning I now had 277 sugar lumps. Whoopsie. I don't want to use these stolen lumps because I feel like it would be a little bit unfair. So for the rest of this video, you're just going to see a fat lump of around 260 lumps up here, as that's how many I was given in the lump heist. That aside, I managed to pull off another Click Frenzy combo and my baked cookie skyrockets to the septensillions. I have begun to lose all meaning to numbers now, as nearly all of them sound exactly the same to me. If you can genuinely tell me the difference between a sextillion, an uvagentillion, and an octillion, I'll be impressed. With that, it was time to ascend. But first, I get some building achievements and we can finally get rid of that freaking ugly rose milk. I am so sorry I had that showing for so long. And with that marks the 80% completion point. But oh boy, do we have so much left to do, because I've been saving the big boys for last. Ascend, ascend, ascend. Things begin changing as I ascend. As I look around, I've purchase nearly every prestige upgrade there is. And not only that, but things start slowing down significantly here. When I first started ascending, 1 or 2 super powerful combos would let me get enough prestige to ascend. Now I have to do upwards of 10 or more to make any progress at all. And because of that, for the first time, I end up leaving Cookie Clicker behind. Yes, despite playing every single day in some form, on Ascension number 1004, I put the game down for 2 months straight. Now I could try and tell you this was because I was trying to farm sugar lumps to open the garden to make this whole process easier, but that would be a straight up lie. The truth of the matter is that I had played Cookie Clicker for nearly 200 hours. But despite that, I still felt so far away from my goal. There were still so many achievements left to collect. It felt daunting. One of the heavenly upgrades I got gives me offline production for 4 days after I last closed the day. So every 4 days, I would open up the game to reset the production, think about starting it up again, and then close the game. Weeks and months passed with no progress made inside the Cookieverse. Eventually, 2 whole months passed, and I thought about scrapping this video altogether. But it was then that I remembered something. I had built this idolverse from a grandmother and a mouse click. I had taken over countless realities, all in the service of baking cookies. I had ascended 1,000 times. I am the cookie god, and I refuse to back down. I hop back into my game and rip my all-time biggest combo ever. Cookies flowing out of every pore on my body. I was back, baby. And this time, I had only grown in power, as I had over 60 sugar lumps to use. And I put these all into one place, the garden, the true target of my return. All powered up, I can ascend and move on to run 1005, the dawn of a new day. And with this new day, I make a major improvement to my Click Frenzy setup. You see, doing Frenzy combos is actually just the beginning of the way we can string cookie buffs together. First character I'd like to introduce into the ring is the Building Special. Building Specials have a rare chance to spawn from our golden little sugar piles. They're kind of like a frenzy in that they increase all cookie production for a short amount of time. However, the amount they boost your production is based off of how many of that building you have. And since I have like 600 of every building now, this usually results in a 6,000% boost to all cookie production. Trying to chain these Click Frenzies is already better than regular frenzies, and ends up making me a ton of cookies. However, we can go even further and try and get all 3 at once. We have so many golden cookie buffs from all of our heavenly chips that they spawn in constantly. And because a frenzy lasts so long, it can be really easy to just have a frenzy, hope a Building Special spawns in, and then rip a Click Frenzy. Now, this doesn't always work, but when it does, shoo freaking wee. 100 octodecillion cookies, 1 Ascension. Jesus Christ. That was tough, man. That was crazy. Whew. The only thing is that this now takes many more attempts to set up. So while I'm doing this in the background, I set my eye on my true goal for this ascension. Unlock all 43 garden seeds. So like I said earlier, the garden is complicated. Like, really complicated. Like, this is what the chart for it looks like. Like, what am I even looking at here? Thankfully, in some of my previous ascensions, I had already gathered Thumbcorn and Chronorice. So you can cross those 2 off the list. Just 40 more to go. So first we gotta just breed Chronorice and Thumbcorn to make Guild Metal, except Chronorice takes 4 hours longer than Thumbcorn to breed, so I have to set a timer on my phone, and then after forgetting 4 times, I finally have a Guild Melon. Breed Guild Melon in Baker's Week to make a Clover, and then have a Clover and a Guild Melon make a Shimmer Lily, and then that Shimmer Lily and a Chronorice again to make an Elder Wart, and did I mention that I hate the Chronorice that takes so long to grow? Now we have an Elder Wart, which we need to breed with a Crumb Spore. What's a Crumb Spore? Well, we need to let our garden become overgrown with weeds, and then this thing called a Mellowweed will spawn, and then we've harvested, but sometimes instead it makes brown mold, which is okay because we need to breed that with Baker's Weed to make a Choco Root, which we need to cross with white mildew, which sometimes grows out of brown mold. After sitting for a while, that makes white Choco Root, which is different than regular Choco Root. It's safe to say, I took nearly 2 weeks of my life to breeding nearly all the plants on this list. But above all else, there's one plant that everybody knows is an absolute terror. Everyone knows is a bundle of pain to get without literally bashing your skull in. A plant so powerful it takes breeding 8 separate plants together to form. A plant so difficult to cultivate, thousands fear its mere presence. Sitting at a staggering 0.001 chance. Introducing the juicy queen bee. And I got it on my first attempt, wow. But even though I managed to grab this beast on my first try, I still need to wait 2 real-life days for it to bear its ripe fruit. So in the meantime, it was time to knock out a ton of obscure achievements that I usually ascend too quickly to earn. First, I need to return to the gates of hell as we need to re-summon the Grandma Apocalypse. But I'm not welcoming the grandmother to take over with open arms as I poke one of her Wrinklers 50 times in a row. Being careful to let it regen just enough health to keep it alive, torturing it to send a message to the grandmas that if they don't behave, they will be next. I will. Oh, an achievement, yeah. Then it was on to the Stark Market, and no, I'm not going to explain this. I really don't want to, so I'm just going to push it off until the end of the video. But just know that there are stocks, and you can buy them. And I need an achievement for making a sale that gives you a day's worth of CPS. I did this by buying enough stocks that cost a day's worth of CPS, and immediately selling it right back. This is what we in the business call money laundering. The next achievement goal is to burst 200 Wrinklers, which unless you for some reason dedicated your life to cookie production like me, you might not know how large of a task that is. Wrinklers respawn slowly, very slowly, and only like 10 max can spawn at a time. In fact, in the time it took me to get this achievement, I was able to finish the seasonal achievements for Halloween and Tolkien Reading Day. I never explained Halloween, but it's like Easter if the eggs were inside of Wrinklers instead. Finally, after
hours of cookies in front of me, I earned myself the Pop 200 Wrinklers achievement. But this is far from the end of the Wrinkler saga, as now it was time to attempt perhaps the most mind-numbing achievement in the game: pop a shiny Wrinkler. The shiny Wrinkler is a rare version of the Wrinkler that is completely white instead of the normal red, and it has a 1 in 10,000 chance of spawning in. I cannot express to you the pain this achievement makes me feel. So literally just wait 2 minutes, pop 8 Wrinklers, repeat over and over and over again. This is literal torture. Each Wrinkler takes 3 clicks to pop. Tap, tap, tap. Where's my shiny Wrinkler? There are little optimizations you can make here, like switching to the Wrinkler Dragon Aura and tablet in your Pantheon. For the most parts, it's just hours upon hours of clicking. Little spoiler here, by the end of this Ascension, I had popped 2,700 Wrinklers and not a single shiny. While I was doing that, though, I went for another achievement: pop 200 Reindeer. Now, while this achievement doesn't seem very hard, for some reason, this does not count across Ascensions, meaning I need to pop 200 reindeer starting from 0. Luckily, we can plant a bunch of chime rows, which increases our reindeer frequency by 21%. But besides that, I started actually working on the script for this very video with my sound on. Whenever I hear a reindeer, I pull the game over, pop it, pop all my Wrinklers, and head back to work. But finally, after a few days of doing this, that should be 200, right? Nice. That one stunk. That was like one of the worst ones I ever had to do. With that completed, we had just one major task left to do this Ascension, and that's to collect our sweet, juicy queen bee, which gives a sugar lump. What the heck? How is that even fair? With that, our longest Ascension was over at a whopping 18 days, and we could finally see that delicious Ascension screen once again. Having accumulated 7 quadrillion prestige ranks, I can buy out a good chunk of the remaining heavenly upgrades and ascend again. After doing some simple clicker combos, I take it a step further, as now I've unlocked the golden clover, and I can fill my garden with that, which will increase my golden cookie chance. From there, I can equip Crumbler with the ultimate power, Dragon Harvest. His true form unlocked as he dominates the edge of the cookie. Yes, Crumbler, bring me power. This multiplies all cookie production by 17, meaning once I rip a click frenzy off the wizard tower, that means I can finally— oh, only 500 octocillion cookies? That really was not as much as I was expecting. But I also learned of another buff. And for this one, we're gonna have to go to the place I fear the most, the stock market. After opening up their scary halls of intimidating charts and physically recoiling, I can breathe a sigh of relief, as we're not here for the stocks. No, this time we've come to let the stockbrokers take advantage of us in a different way and take out a loan. Here, the banks give us a 50% multiplier on our CPS for 2 hours. But after that, we'll receive a 75% decrease for the following 4 hours. But I don't plan to see the day that happens, and I use this loan to rip another click combo like we've never seen before. Oh my god. Holy crap, we're killing it. Oh my god, so many cookies. Alright. 1 Nova Mendecillion cookies in 1 Ascension. Holy crap. 19 Nova Demecillion. We got 18 quadrillion prestige levels off of that. With that earned, before we can even be punished for our predatory loan, we ascend, leaving the big banks in the dust, which actually earns us the Depth Evasion achievement. I replant my garden and perform Click Frenzy after Click Frenzy, my power growing with each additional combo. But I'm realizing that despite all these buffs, I'm not progressing fast enough. There has to be something better than this. There has to be a way to make more cookies. I ascend once again, but despite my now 39 quadrillion prestige ranks, my pickings are still slim. There needs to be a way for me to grow stronger. I consult through the ancient Cookie Clicker scriptures, and by that, I mean the subreddit, and I find a forbidden technique that could multiply your cookie combos by multiple decimals. The FtHoF Dual Cast. A hidden craft that could allow you to cast 2 Force the Hands of Fate simultaneously. But how could such a practice be possible? Well, to explain, I need to explain how spells and mana work. You see, for every wizard tower you have, you gain a set amount of maximum mana. The more towers you have, the larger your mana bar is. However, in order to prevent you from just buying a bunch of towers and then being able to cast spells infinitely, most spells are based off of a percentage of your mana. In this case, Force the Hand of Fate is calculated to be 10 mana plus 60% of your total mana. But here's the thing: if you sell wizard towers, your earned mana doesn't go down, just your total mana bar. This means if I was to have 537 towers, cast FtHoF, then sell down to 37 towers, my maximum mana is now much lower, meaning I can cast it a second time. So after taking the time to get all 100 mana I need for this, it was time to unleash the previously forbidden dual FtHoF cast. Boom. Double. Where's the second one? Where's the second one? Here they are. Oh. Okay, well, maybe it's an Elder Frenzy? Maybe it's an Elder Frenzy? Okay, it was a clot. Awesome. 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 Okay, well, I tried dual casting again and again, but to very middling results. I'm able to get enough to ascend, but the results were pretty underwhelming, as I've only got 1 helpful golden cookie. So I once again consulted the ancient scriptures and discovered the holy grail of this run: a shining light inside of a dark forest, the Force the Hand of Fate Planner. The FtHoF Planner is a tool where you can basically just place your seed inside and it shows what every single consecutive cast of FtHoF will be. If you're a Stardew Valley fan, it's basically like the predictor, but for Cookie Clicker. This way, you can make sure that when you perform the dual cast, it's gonna give you the 2 golden golden cookies you want for the combo. This is truly a lifesaver, and I can tell you without certainty, I would not be able to complete this playthrough without the power of the FtHoF Planner. Thank you all for your service. Without you, I'd still be deep in the bog of the cookieverse. Also, apparently using this tool disqualifies you from any professional leaderboards, which is fine, as I know the only thing I'm truly a professional in is losing Beyblade tournaments. But seriously, this tool was the only way I was able to get this video out in a reasonable amount of time. So thank you to the Cookie Clicker community for creating such a useful application. I consulted the planner for the perfect time to execute my combo. Not all was going to be planned, as before I was pulling this off, I wanted a frenzy combined with a building special. So I needed to perfect our garden setup, but I now learned that we can further optimize our golden clover setup by using nurse tulips. Nurse tulips make neighboring plants more effective, and with it, we could quadruple our golden cookie chances. The only downside is that nurse tulips decrease your CPS, so I'll have to make sure to harvest the garden before executing the combo. We grab the frenzy and the building special. I wait for the next golden cookie, and then it was time to let our combo rip. This is frenzy on top of building special, on top of loan, on top of building special, on top of click frenzy, on top of Godzamuk. This is boosting our CPS by, I don't know, a lot. I sell towers at lightning speeds and I click like I've never clicked before. This was truly an incredible moment. I've never thought that baking cookies could feel so beautiful. I slap my mouse at speed so furiously that I'm able to earn 24 Vintigillion cookies. A number that looks like this, by the way. I'm able to ascend for a whopping 234 quintillion prestige ranks, meaning I now have enough chips to purchase every single heavenly upgrade there is to buy. Yes, truly. I am truly infinite at this point. Surprisingly, there's no achievement for this, but with every heavenly upgrade now in our pocket, our full potential was unlocked, which meant it was time to get serious. It was time to string together the ultimate combo. Because if you thought what we did before was large, you ain't seen nothing yet. We need to climb all the way to the forbidden Trevintigillion cookies mark, an achievement that only 4% of players have ever been able to crack. Would I be able to perform the combo that so few others have been able to perform? I ascend, buy towers, plant garden, change my dragon auras, and I was finally ready to clicker combo. But thoughts start seeping into my head. There's no way you can achieve Trevintigillion. You could barely understand oxygen not included. Are you really that foolish to think that? You can optimize all you want, but the real problem is you. What? No, that's impossible. I'm amazing at clicking cookies. I mean, yeah, there's an achievement for clicking cookies that I haven't earned yet, but I know that I'm close. I have to be. I've put 200 hours of my life into this stupid game. I can't fail now. Here, there's a site to test your clicking ability. During the achievement, you need to get around 12 clicks a second. 12 clicks? I'm sure I'm not far off from that. 8? I can't believe it. Just moments from my greatest accomplishment, and I realized the problem was me all along. I spent hours watching clicking tutorials, drag clicking, butterfly clicking, double clicking, but despite trying time and time again, I can't get my clicks any higher. How am I even supposed to perform an Unvintigillion click combo with my clicks so low? This was truly hopeless. But it's then that I have a realization. Cookie Clicker. Cookie Clicker. The game is not about clicking cookies. It's about the clicker of the cookies. It's a game about me. All of the hours of playing, the days spent in the garden, the nights spent poking Wrinkler, the sleepless hours in front of the cookie. It was all to make me stronger, to make me the best possible clicker of cookies there was. And sometimes the best way for the cookie clicker to click the cookie is to not even click at all. You see, by pressing left alt, left shift, and numlock on your keyboard, you can turn on a thing called mouse keys. Mouse keys is an accessibility feature that allows you to use a key on your keyboard as a mouse. With this setting, I can rapidly mash 5 and plus on the number pad to click with 2 fingers at once. I tried this out on the cookie, and instantly I'm rewarded with the Uncanny Clicker Achievement, for I now know that the Uncanny Clicker is me. With a new clicking technique in my holster, it was time to prepare the ultimate click combo. I started off using my dragon aura that increases golden cookie frequency. Then it was just time to wait for some golden cookies to fly in. For this combo, I'm gonna need a natural dragon harvest, frenzy, and a building special. So it was time to just wait. Golden cookie upon golden cookie fly by with none of them interesting. I patiently wait on the sidelines for the right moment to hit. I wait for 2 straight hours until finally stars align. Frenzy, dragon harvest, and building special. Now I'm gonna slow this down a bit as there's a lot of things I need to do to get this combo right. First, I need to change my dragon auras back to the usual ones to assist in my CPS. Then I'll need to harvest my garden, as like I said before, nurse tulips nerf our CPS by a ton. Then I need to cast the first hand of fate. The reason I need to cast it so early is because I need the Godzamuk buff from selling my wizard towers to run out before I can execute the true Godzamuk buff. Then I swap in Mock Elysium as it gives me a huge CPS buff. Finally, before this all started, I had turned on Sugar Frenzy. It costs 1 sugar lump but triples your CPS for an hour. With all these factors combined, we can cast the second Force the Hand of Fate, get a second building special, get a click frenzy combo, and click that freaking cookie. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Yes, 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 yes. 46 Unvingentillion. With my newfound money, I grab a bunch of purchasing achievements, the hardest of which being to own 650 of every building. And just like that, it was time to ascend again. But as I rebuild my empire, I realized that even though that was the biggest combo I had pulled off yet, I had still only gotten an unventigillion cookies. I was still centuries of years of CPS getting off to the game's final and hardest achievement, Triventigillion. I tried to research for hours, but the processes had become so insanely confusing with the need to optimize multiple crumbler switches, temple swaps, garden layouts, it felt like I was never going to figure this all out. So I decided to ask for help. I reached out to Limes, who's one of the top Cookie Clicker players of all time. I asked if he'd be willing to come look at my save file to show me what things I had been doing wrong, and how I could finally squeeze out the last of those achievements. Really appreciate you hopping on with me, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I've recently been trying to go through and get all the Cookie Clicker achievements, and I hear you're the guy to hit up about something like that. So, I just kind of wanted to go through my save and, like, what I should be working on. Lime started off by teaching me about all the things related to the cookie stock market, because there was a lingering achievement that required me to earn 10 million in profit, which means, yes, actually playing the stock market without any losses. Next, he showed me how I could fix perhaps my biggest issue of this playthrough, the stolen sugar lumps. By exporting my save file code, I can use an online save file editor of the game to remove all of my heisted lumps. As sad as it was to see my lump total go all the way down to 5, I knew it was the right thing to do. It's like, how many more times do you think I'd have to ascend?
You can probably do it in like 3 maybe if you're not looking for combos that are that big.
One of the biggest things Limes told me I wasn't doing was making use of the seasonal upgrades, as apparently the reindeer cookies, the Halloween cookies, and the eggs from the Easter event contribute to nearly half of your CPS. I almost never grind for them because it's just so dang difficult to click on enough golden cookies to earn all of the drops. But Lime showed me a little trick that can make getting them much quicker. There's a dragon aura that I had never even used called Dragon Orbs. The way Dragon Orbs works is that if you sell used, you can summon a golden cookie. The only catch to this is it only works if there are no other golden cookies on screen and you don't have any other buffs. This can help us click all of the golden cookies necessary to find all Easter eggs. The problem with this is that Frenzy is the most common golden cookie effect. So typically every time you get a Frenzy, you need to wait the full 2 minutes for the effect to go away. However, what you can do is just save before every golden cookie press, and if you get a Frenzy, just quit without saving and reload your game. This helps you get these rare drops much quicker. This was such a useful technique, I ended up instituting it throughout my playthrough for a variety of reasons. Most importantly, when I execute combos poorly to give me another chance at them. Finally, Lime showed me an example of what an endgame cookie combo looks like. And it's honestly so simple. All you need to do is get a Chain Frenzy, get a Dragon Harvest, get a Building Special, switch Crumbler Aura, plant Whisker Blooms, Quadcast FtHoF, turn on the Golden Switch, take out Alone, switch in Hobler, switch in Godsmuck, switch to Halloween, sell the building, switch in Mock Elysium, and then click the cookie, all in just 30 seconds. Well, if I knew it was that easy, I would have just done it already. He leaves me off with the encouragement that despite how far away it seems I am on the precipice of success. While Lime's achievement was great, what lies before us were single-handedly the hardest achievements in all of Cookie Clicker. In fact, the remaining 5 achievements we have took nearly a third of this entire playthrough. Yes, seriously. First, I need to perform what Limes calls a setup combo. This is a smaller combo you use to earn cookies for the other combo pieces like buying buildings, the garden, the golden switch. But you don't go so hard in it to lose valuable resources like sugar lumps. With cookies now in our bank, it was time to tackle the 3 achievements that gave me the greatest trouble in this entire playthrough. And you should be familiar with all 3. Pop a shiny Wrinkler, collect every seed in the garden, and earn 10 million in stock market profits. I've talked about the first 2 already at length, so let me touch on stock market profits. The way the cookie stock market works is really just like the normal stock market. Stock prices go up and down in a meaningless way that is completely impossible to predict. And while you might think that I've got so many cookies now that it would be easy to just buy a ton of stock, sell them for like a $1 profit and repeat, that's actually not possible. You see, everything in the stock market is converted into a currency called money. Money is based off your total CPS at the current moment and will always match that value. If that made no sense to me, you are very lucky. And don't take your freedom for granted for even a second. All you need to know is there's no way to cheese this. Just buy low and sell high. Each stock is separated into different tiers, and you can try and min-max it by making sure you only buy certain stocks at certain barrier prices. But after doing this for 100 hours straight, I can tell you none of that matters. Buy stock low, sell stock high. While I'm doing that, I make sure to pop Wrinklers in the hope that I will one day get the shiny. Just continually popping Wrinklers over and over and over. And while I do that, I try to crossbreed the rest of my flowers. And since the flowers mature and breed in real time, it means my entire life is now put on a timer. Every few minutes, forced to check back in on Cookie Clicker. Oh, my crumb spores spread too much today. At least I can sell my honey stock, but let me just pop these 10 Wrinklers first. My friends started to worry about me at this point. My girlfriend was receiving countless messages from our friends wondering if I was okay. I hadn't responded to their texts in over a week, and they could see I'd been playing Cookie Clicker on Steam the whole time. But I can't respond to others, because I have to find the shiny Wrinkler. If I even take a second to think about something else, like other videos or social obligations, or the fact that I haven't eaten in the last 14 hours, I might miss my drowsy fern harvest for the 3rd time. I began to break down. I worked in the stock market from the moment I woke up until the moment I fell asleep. Sleep was my only freedom from the shackles of Cookie Clicker, until I lost that too. As soon enough I started to, and yes, I'm being 100% serious, have have Cookie Clicker related nightmares, just staring at the Cookie Clicker screen, never able to look away. There's no escape from the chocolate hell I had found myself in. Usually when I get to this point in a video where I have to do a really hard achievement, I think about giving up and scrapping the video altogether. But that was the saddest part. I never even considered giving up. It was an addiction. I hated every second that I looked at that UI, but I couldn't stop doing it. I was trapped in the coils of the click, and there was truly no way out. Not even earning the achievements made me feel free from my cookie chains. In all the time I was doing this, I managed to find every single fortune upgrade, and I feel nothing. After popping 5,000 Wrinklers, I finally find the sacred shiny one. I still feel nothing. I harvest a cheap cap, which means I've now collected every seed in the game, and I grabbed the achievement for harvesting 1,000 plants using Thumbcorn. I even accomplished perhaps the hardest thing in the entire game, earned 10 million in profit on the stock market. Still emptiness, for I know I will never be free from Cookie Clicker, that she will have her hooks inside my skin forever. But then I have an epiphany. I already settled with myself I'm not going to do the reach each building to level 10 achievements. Those require no skill and just using sugar lumps, and it would delay this video by like over a year. Same with the caramelized and golden lump achievements. That means not including the bake X amount of cookies achievements. There's only 4 achievements left. One is to get 700 upgrades, which I'm only 2 away for. 2 of them can be done in just a couple seconds, and the last one is just to cast 1,000 wizard spells. Wait, I'm almost there. In the dark black hole of cookies that I had been banished to, I can see the other side. Victory is within reach. I'm nearly free. This time, it was time to pull off the ultimate combo. I took Lime's training, every page from the wiki, hours of YouTube tutorials, all the knowledge that had gotten me here. Every aspect of the game would need to be included in this combo to reach highs I never thought before possible, and rise out of the darkness of the chocolate and into the light. I had a frenzy and a dragon harvest. I replaced my dragon aura with supreme intellect, which gives me better FtHoF. Then I harvest my garden and replace them with whisker blooms, which gives me benefits based off my milk. I switch Godsmuck into the Pantheon. I cast FtHoF, sell 900 wizard towers, switch to Halloween, cast FtHoF again, buy 500 wizard towers. I can use a sugar lump to refill my mana to full, cast 2 more FtHoFs for the elusive quad FtHoF, flick the golden switch, turn on sugar frenzy, buy 600 of my most expensive units. Why they're sitting at 9 is too complicated to explain. Click the FtHoFs for a click frenzy, and 3 building specials, sell everything, swap in Macalesia, and click that cookie motherfucker. And I forgot to swap my dragon auras. Okay, reload my most recent save, do all that again. The garden, the temple, the quadcast. Remember my dragon aura this time. The switch, the frenzy, sell, and click that cookie. And then we gotta throw in Macalesium, and then go! We've made 861 duovingentillion. Oh my god. Okay, how many ascensions? 91 quintillion. Holy crap. In that one single combo, I had just made 793,013 years of CPS. That is 7 billion hours of my total CPS in just one single combo. Which means after all that, there's only one achievement lying before me. The forbidden one. One that few have come close to. The hardest achievement in the entire game. Bake 1 Treventigillion cookies. I do my final ascend, as it was now time to finally put this game to rest. Well, actually, before we tackle the sacred Treventigillion, we need to get the cast 1,000 spells achievement. This one's pretty easy, as when you start a new file and buy your first wizard tower, you're given 5 free mana. So I can just buy a wizard tower, cast a spell, and ascend, repeating the whole process over again. I need to cast about 400 spells, and this took me about an hour. But then I was able to get it. So now the path was open to the forbidden Treventigillion. But this time, I'm not just gonna ascend like normal. Limes taught me about a technique called seed scouting that will ensure I can hit the big number. Basically, you just ascend, then check to see if there are any insane FtHoF combos on the planner, and if not, you just ascend again until you find a seed where there is. And after searching and searching, I had found it, the god seed of Cookie Clicker. It was time to get this show on the road for the last time. I purchased all my buildings, perform my setup combos, get all my holiday upgrades, and I was finally ready. One final combo to send me over the edge. I changed my U's to look like grandma to cheer me on as I crossed the finish line. But even though I had all the pieces in place, I would still need to actually perform the combo. And with this many moving parts, that's a lot harder than you would think. Whisker blooms. Boom, 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 boom. Cream intellect. Okay. Mute. Take out the loan. Mute. Then we've got FtHoF. Then we sell. Down to 22. Then we have to click the golden cookie. Easter. FtHoF. Backfire. Okay, clear. Whisker bloom. Okay. Supreme Intellect, cast FtHoF. Easter, click the golden cookie. FtHoF, buy towers back. Sugar lump, FtHoF, I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait, yes. First it's Halloween. FtHoF, sell. FtHoF,
Okay, we FtHoF. We did all the FtHoF. Oh, the last one's supposed to be an Easter. Okay, we gotta start the whole process over again. Then I need to click on the golden switch and the sugar lump. And then I need to Crumbler. The click frenzy's already run out. Okay. Sell everything. 1, 2, 3. Mark-Elysium. Not even close. I did it all wrong. And there was a cookie storm. Sell. Oh. Zippity, zappity, zoopity. But. I lost my temples. It sold my temples by mistake. Harvest. This thing. Whisker bloom. Supreme intellect. Mute. Loan. Mute. Cast FtHoF. Easter. FtHoF again. Click this. FtHoF. Sell down to 22. Switch to Easter. FtHoF. Let's get Crumbler up and running. Click the FtHoFs. We got Holoblore. We got Godzamok. We've got Sell everything we got. Then we got Mark-Elysium. And then we got cookies. Yes! 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 I did it! Yes! Yes! It's over! I hate this game so much! Oh my god, it's over! Yes! Yes! Yes, it's over! Holy crap. It's so freaking over. Holy crap. I know I didn't do this one. I'm not doing that. I'm not clicking 7,000 golden cookies. I'm not doing that. But I have Trevor and Gillian. I have a lot of cookies, man. After that, I was able to sacrifice my garden, giving me 10 sugar lumps, which I could then use to upgrade my cursors to level 12 and fully outfoot my bank to the highest level, giving me the game's final achievement. I had done it. After 362 hours, I had done it. Cookie Clicker was, effectively, 100% completed. And despite what I said when I got the Treventagillion cookies, I actually really enjoyed this game. Should I have tried to get to 100% in 6 months? Absolutely not. That was pure pain and agony. But even through all the pain and suffering and torture, I can still see if you're playing this game not like a complete insane person, it would be a really fun experience. There's no better feeling than ripping off combos worth literal years of your CPS. A huge shout out to the entire Cookie Clicker community. They've been extremely helpful throughout this saga and all of my many questions on the ins and outs of this game. Finally, if you're looking for someone who is trying to 100% the game without using the FtHoF Planner, check out Whitestone Jazz's series on his channel. He did a full 100% speedrun of the game. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what games you want me to 100% next, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, and one more thing.
Cookie Clicker? Listen, I feel like idle games almost always fit into the cozy category, and I'm tired of hiding it. None of them do it better than Cookie Clicker.
What about this game is so cozy, Salman? Is it the mountains of spreadsheets you need to look through? Is it the understanding of complex math and percentages? Is it the stock market? Is it the combos that are so stressful there's a freaking separate game to practice them? Are you serious? Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to check out War Thunder now for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox, and use my link below to secure a free bonus pack.